Hi guys, hope you're doing well. Today we'll see everything you need to know about creatine in a few minutes. Do you need to take creatine supplements? What are the benefits? We'll answer all those questions, so make sure to stay till the end. Firstly, what is creatine? Creatine is a derived amino acid that is found naturally in food, and it's used in the human body as energy storage. It's stored in muscles with water. And then this creatine is used when you're exercising to generate ATP, which is the energy molecule. So it generates energy especially for short periods of exercise, from 0 to 10 seconds. That's why it's mainly used in sports that involve jumping, sprinting, or lifting weights. Now, what are the benefits of creatine? Creatine is involved in energy production again. So if you take a decent amount of creatine, you will experience a gain in strength and power output up to 5%. And from experience from lifting weights in the gym, I can tell you that the 5% number that comes from several studies is pretty accurate. Creatine also increases muscle mass due to the fact that it's stored with water in your muscles, so it's intramuscular water. It also improves post-workout recovery, and it even has mental benefits that may be just as interesting as the physical benefits, right? Several recent studies have taken a look at those mental benefits, and they have shown that creatine improves mental focus, memory, and it also reduces mental fatigue in a period of stress and when you're sleep deprived. However, there's a lack of evidence that creatine enhances endurance. So if you're an endurance athlete, don't expect that creatine will boost your VO2 max or any of that stuff, right? And does creatine have drawbacks? Side effects? Well, actually, no. You're gonna slightly gain weight, even if, again, it's only intramuscular water. And the weight gain depends obviously on the person and depends on the dose of creatine that you're taking. But unless you're competing in weight-sensitive sport, you're gonna gain like what? 1 pound of water thanks to creatine, so it doesn't matter. You don't need to worry about it. How much creatine do you need per day? Well, just to stay alive, right, you need around 2 grams of creatine per day if you're a male, and 1 gram if you're a female. And you can get that through food, and the highest foods in creatine are seafood, fish, and red meat in general, including herrings with 1.2 grams of creatine per 100 grams, and then there's beef, salmon, and pork at around 0.45 grams of creatine per 100 grams. So do you need to supplement with creatine? Well, you don't need it. I mean, if you're alive without taking creatine supplements, it means it's not an obligation. But unless you're eating loads of herrings and beef each day, you're not getting enough creatine to get the benefits out of it, right? That's why supplementing with doses ranging from 3 to 5 or even 10 grams of creatine per day could be a great idea. And actually, if you want to focus purely on the mental benefits, you need to take around 10 grams per day, which is kind of a higher dose. But don't worry, doses up to 25 grams of creatine daily for 14 days have been safely studied. So don't worry about the upper limit. Creatine is not going to have any side effects. It's not going to cause hair loss. It's not going to cause cancer. All that stuff has been proven to be just pure BS. And actually, in those studies, they used a tremendous amount of creatine, 25 grams per day, because they were using a loading phase. So for 2 to 3 weeks, they take a humongous amount of creatine daily and then they stop it. But do you need to do a loading phase? Well, you don't need it. If you want to get just the benefits of creatine year-round, just take a regular amount of creatine, 3 to 10 grams per day, and stick to it each day. And do you need to take creatine even if you're not a lifter? If you train for endurance or for any other sport, creatine may also be useful. It's not only for lifters, since the cognitive benefits of creatine are very conclusive. Again, except the fact that you're gonna gain maybe 1 pound of water, it doesn't have any side effects, so you can take creatine. Now, when to take creatine and with what? Some studies have shown that creatine is more useful when you take it around exercise, around your workout, so pre or post workout, but studies are not very strong on that, so just don't overcomplicate it, man. Just take creatine whenever you're used to it. If you're used to taking it at night, take it at night, no problem. Just take it in a fed state, take it with food, especially with carbs. It's gonna be better absorbed than if you take it completely fasted. And also, if you take creatine, don't take it with caffeine, because it has been shown that caffeine interacts with creatine, making it less absorbed by the human body. And finally, the last question is what form of creatine is best. There's several forms of creatine, but the best one and the cheapest one and the most studied is creatine monohydrate. Other forms of creatine, again, are more expensive, and there's no studies that have shown that they're more effective. So just stick to creatine monohydrate, and preferably with the CREAPURE label. CREAPURE is a German lab that is very reliable, and they make pure creatine with no additives. So let's recap pretty quickly, but before that, if you enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments, leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and click the bell button. So to sum up, creatine has mental and physical benefits. You can take 3 to 10 grams per day depending on your body weight. It doesn't have any side effects. You have to take it preferably with food, and take creatine monohydrate with the label CREAPURE. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Let me know in the comments, and have a nice day.